Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Hello Smut Squad and welcome back to the channel. Recently I did a scary PS1 video and a lot of you kept saying you need to look at the PS2. So I decided, why not? I've got some free time. So today I'm going to be looking at some of the scariest games for the PlayStation 2 and ones that make you poop your pants. Before we go any further, if you think I deserve it, please remember to hit that like, hype and subscribe button, as well as listen to the weekly podcast and join our free Discord. Now, this is a list that I think are the scariest on the console. Some of you are probably going to disagree with this, and that's fine, but let me know in the comments below if you agree, if you disagree, or if you've got memories about the games I've covered here. Right, let's get into it, shall we? The scariest games for the PlayStation 2. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly.
Should we go inside? Mayu? Mayu! What's wrong?
This is a moody, scary and quite haunting video game. The story follows twins Mio and Mayo, who decide to basically wander around the woods at night because, of course they do. But Mayu, being a bit of a moron, decides to follow a floating red butterfly, hence the name Crimson Butterfly. And this then takes them to a scary village, who have kind of got themselves in the religious sect sort of stuff. But my argument is, why in the hell would you follow something that's basically saying, ooh, follow me and you're probably going to die? But if we didn't do this, we wouldn't have a game, would you? And Mayu, being that moron, basically becomes trapped, and the other sister, Miu, has to be the one who saves the day. Now, this game is built on tension rather than jump scares. Miu doesn't have any weapons per se, like guns or swords. No, she has a camera, and you use this to be able to attack your enemies or the spirits that linger around the village. But this game builds on a sense of isolation. It builds on that tension, as I said earlier. And I'm a wimp, so playing this in a dark room is going to make my pants fill up very quickly, and it's actually perfect for the PS2. The character models here look really good as well, better than the upcoming Fable. Yes, I said it. And the story itself is actually a prequel to the first Fatal Frame game. The village that you're walking around is very dark and drab, which helps build that tension even more. And as this game's had a remake, I imagine that would be even more haunting if you wanted to play it on modern day consoles. I have to say though, the ending is pretty messed up. Even the hard mode ending is even more messed up. So yeah, play both of them if you dare. Resident Evil 4. Now, I know some of you are going to be going, oh, really? He picked Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 isn't scary. And look, okay, I can hear you on that. I can. I'm not silly. I understand. However, there is a point in the game which does scare me. Again, this is my list. And that is the chainsaw. Anytime I hear the chainsaw, whether it's from this game, or whether it's from one of my neighbours, or whether it's Zombies Ate My Neighbours, I automatically think of this game. The moment where suddenly you think you're doing quite well, and an absolute nutter with a sack on his head decides to run at you with a chainsaw, and he's a bullet sponge, and if he gets anywhere close to you, you'll lose your head in one go. Later, you gotta fight two women holding chainsaws, and that's two chainsaw noises. I remember playing Resident Evil 5 recently for the podcast, and just hearing the chainsaw made me poop my pants. I'm going to keep using that analogy because it's there. So yes, whilst I understand it isn't necessarily the scariest game ever made, that sound alone does it for me. And no, you can't clip that. Kuon. Set in feudal Japan and was made by From Software before they decided to haunt everyone's dream with the Souls games. Now, basically, this game is where the demons have entered the land and they're trying to take over. And it is a very, very dark-esque game. Like, straight away you can see there are bodies everywhere. That's a great start. Slight side note, I will say that From Software have got the architecture from the era spot on. So, well done. Now, unlike most horror games where, you kind of have to stay in the shadows, this game is kind of you have to stay bloody quiet. See, the enemies in this game, the Gaki, respond to sound. And that is creating a bit of a tense atmosphere, because running is essentially can be a death sentence. Like, you do have weapons and magic as well, but the problem is that, well, magic is limited to use, and the weapons you have are very slow in using them. So, when you actually see an enemy, well, when they hear you, do you run or do you fight? But running might get more of them on you. I keep thinking playing this game, where the hell is my bonfire? Yes, I know, because it's a From Software game. There are two different characters to choose from here, Utsaki and Sakia, and both of them have different weapons and different abilities, as well as different story beats, although you can argue the first bits of each story are a little bit repetitive. And the attacks in this game can be a bit hit or miss, whether they actually want to work or not. But that gripe is very minor, and the game is sorely overlooked, and you really need to play both scenarios to actually get the full picture of what's going on. But it adds an interesting twist. If you were in a horror game, would you decide to go all guns blazing, or stay as quiet as you can? Because, I don't know what I'd do. Fight or flight, really.
My sister and I came from the mountain, but I lost her.
It's not safe to be alone here.
Silent Hill 3.
Where am I?
Now, I know some of you are going to be going, oh my god, what about Silent Hill 2? Silent Hill 2 is the more better game, it's more psychological horror. Fine. Do that, make your own list, or shout at me in the comments, that's fine. I don't mind you shouting at me in the comments, there's no problem at all, go for it. But first of all, whoa, 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 is that a bottle of Heinz tomato ketchup? It is. That is advertising right there. Heinz should be being paid for that. Now, expectations were pretty high after the first two games. And this one, you play as Heather, who starts off in a very weird dream. And I'm not going to lie, this is a very, 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 very messed up dream. And she wakes up in an abandoned mall. But this mall is not what it seems, as monsters start appearing and the environments get more and more messed up. The monsters here are quite tough, and probably more so than the previous two games, so it's not worthwhile to actually start attacking everything that you can see. And talking about those monsters, they're incredibly messed up. Like, who thinks this stuff up? Like, when they have to go to the art director and go, right, do us a favour, I need to think of some messed up monsters. Does he go in, like, his little, little drawer, put his head in, have a quick sniff, and then just sees what come out of his head? That's the only way I can imagine. Don't do drugs, kids. Not a good thing. No, we don't encourage drugs here in Retro Wars, but surely, the art director is putting some stuff up his nose, which is the same stuff that probably Meat Canyon does for some of the creations that he comes up with. Silent Hill 3 had incredible graphics at the time, and I know they've been re-released and upscaled, but still, at the time it was gorgeous, especially some of the lighting from that flashlight. Now, when you're walking around, you do have a broken radio, and when you hear the static going off, that's basically the monsters coming at you. It's like a messed up Dragon Ball radar. Instead of getting close to a Dragon Ball, you're getting close to a monster that's probably going to rip off your face. And if you like the first two games, you're probably going to like this one, because let's be honest, they went with the formula, well, it ain't broke, so don't fix it. Keeps a lot of the same themes from the first two games. And Konami have done well here, because to be honest, the story and characters are so compelling, you definitely want to get to the end to see what's going on.
Ah, the cries of the children.
Clock Tower 3.
All alone in this world now, little girl. My sweet Alyssa. I've been waiting so long for this moment.
Get away from me!
This is the last entry of the Scissorman saga, and seriously, I just want to kick that guy in the nuts. But he ain't in this game. Yeah, he's not in it, which just seems odd. Now, this is a weird game, and you have to really say it's a sequel in name only, because it's technically the fourth Clock Tower game, yet it's called Clock Tower 3. And it has no connection to the previous games of the systems of click and point. No, that has gone completely out the window. But it does have the same principle of basically maniacs are after you, you need to run and hide and hope they don't find you. This time you do have a health meter. Well, essentially it's a panic meter. And if that gets maxed out, your character kind of goes into panic mode, well, name's on the tin really, where you basically stumble around and you could potentially freeze, and if that happens, you may as well be dead because you're easy pickings for the maniacs running around the house. The game itself is absolutely bonkers. The cinematics are all over the place, and some of them work, some of them don't, but I don't really care. This game is about making you think, what the is going on? So I don't mind if some of it doesn't work, because often I'm just thinking, what am I even watching? Now here, the main character, Alyssa, can also summon a light bow. What? That's a bit different from the first Clock Tower game on the Super Nintendo. We've now got light bows. And I'm not going to lie, out of all the games I mentioned on this list, that is the magic sort of shit I want in my video game. Imagine Leon Kennedy walking around with a light bow. That'd be so goddamn cool. We are now in Sailor Moon territory, fighting demons from the other world. This is awesome, although it's not demons, I know it's not, but I'm just saying, that'd be so cool. Make a Sailor Moon skin.
I killed her.
Forbidden Siren. This game takes part in a dark and isolated village, much like another game that we talked about. But in this game, the villagers have got themselves in a religious rabbit hole and have basically put themselves in a time warp and trapped everyone who's actually in the village who had nothing to do with this, and around it is a red river of blood. Well, I assume it's blood. But basically, they ain't getting out everywhere. So the residents themselves have become these zombies. Hey, hang on. The residents have become zombies. Capcom are going to sue you. That's all I'll say. The graphics aren't the best, and you can even say that Silent Hill 2 came out earlier and looked far better. But the game itself does have some elements of Kuon, in the sense of you've got to kind of sneak around rather than, well, I don't know, try and fight them. But here, it's you don't want to get seen at all. It's kind of like, I don't know, Splinter Cell, Mission Impossible, with zombies. Yeah. The village itself is very foggy, as if you're basically going around your own dreams. Now, each level that you do has a main objective and side objectives. So, basically, just try and get to the main objective, and if you want to try and do this 100%, I don't, because I like not getting scared. Eventually, you get the ability to see what your enemies are seeing, which is like, okay, can they see me? Is it safe to go? Let's go now. It is quite a hard game because the AI is quite brutal, but if you do like your challenging games, then this is definitely for you. And finally, Haunting Ground. Now, this is... What do I say about Haunting Ground? Okay? Yes, I'm an immature person, and this could be quite an immature analysis. So let's just go with the basics. Fiona is our heroine here, and she awakens in a castle. I'm reading this very slowly because you're going to see where I'm going. She awakens in a castle after being in a car crash. She's been abducted and basically thrown in this castle because basically the main bad guy wants to have fun and impregnate her because she's the carrier of this Azoth thing. Right. Okay. So that's the main story. Okay? I don't think 2026 would allow a storyline like that. I really don't. Because the whole gameplay cranny is that she's got to be running around this castle, running away from people who want to impregnate her. Impregnate. I'm just careful I'm not going to get done by YouTube. To make matters worse for this, I don't know, worse or better, they put her in scenarios where she barely has any clothing. any clothing, any excuse. And to give good measure, this game has incredible jiggle physics, which are completely unnecessary, but why not? Japan, you are strange. Now, although Fiona herself doesn't really have many abilities, like she's quite useless, she can run and she can basically hide, but she has a dog called Huey. And Huey is your saviour in this game. You can instruct Huey to do everything. Basically find stuff for you or attack enemies. But you kind of need to give him commands, whether he's been a good boy or a bad boy, because he's not listening. And this is where the game goes through the roof. Look, I love dogs. I do. Pat is our unofficial CEO of this place, of Retro Wars. And I tell him he's a good boy all the time. The idiot jumped on a table and ripped his dew claw off yesterday. So I've been the vet, so thanks for the $150 bill, Pat. I appreciate it, but I'll do it for you. You're a good boy. Side note, I don't care. It's my show. But I don't think Pat would help me in this situation. Now, the reason why I bring up this little section is that there are different endings depending on what you do. One of the endings, well, if you're not good enough to your doggy, if you don't call Huey a good boy enough, he basically says you're on your own, bitch, and leaves you and doesn't save you at the critical juncture of this game, leaving you to get kidnapped. Poor Fiona gets kidnapped and impregnated. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I do not think 2026 modern day standards would allow this game to be released. Argue with me in the comments whether you think that's true or not. I just do not think a game where you are running away from somebody who is trying to impregnate you against your will would survive in this day and age. I really just don't think so. Why, Capcom? Why? And that is how I'm finishing this video. It's a weird way to finish. I know that. Imagine me playing this game. It was a difficult experience for me. It'll be a difficult experience for you. But until then, I'll let you all go. Stew on that one. And as I said, let me know in the comments what you think. And I'll see you all in a few days from the video. My name's been Danny. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye. And follow your dreams. Maybe not that one. Don't know. No.